Well, yes. I mean, the issue of the sliding scale is something we cannot penetrate at all. God only knows the degree to which people are responsible, but rejection of Jesus is rejection of Jesus as Messiah. That's quite clear. The whole thrust of the New Testament is that those who believe that Jesus is the Son of God, who believe that he is the Messiah, those two phrases are right there in 1 John, are the true believers. And John goes to great lengths to ward off any threat to that identity. In fact, Jesus himself said, asking Peter, "Who do you say that I am?" There are all sorts of views around. Some think I'm John the Baptist raised from the dead, and so on. But who do you say? So the identity of Jesus here is a key, critical question. Peter then says, "You're the Messiah, the Son of the living God," actually quoting from Hosea, where Israel were to be sons of the living God. They're in a sense messiahs too, in the plural, because the patriarchs are called messiahs also. They're anointed ones. But Jesus is the Messiah, the anointed Son of God, Son of David, virginally begotten. If we don't accept that, we're in danger. Now, of course, if we've never heard this before, we need to tackle that issue and think about it. We need to be Bereans and work it out. But I can't make any kind of judgment. Of course, God only knows the degree to which people are responsible in a very confused and chaotic world. So that's up to God. I do think that the Bible becomes a brilliantly enlightening book, once you see that Jesus is the man Messiah. After all, he's called Christ 615 times. That's not just a surname. It's not as though Mary and Joseph Christ had a baby, Jesus Christ, much less in Spanish where you have Jesucristo, one word. No, we've lost the messianic sense. In fact, it's great that you asked that question. I have this quote from Joseph Klausner in his book, The Messianic Idea in Israel, a Jew writing. He said this so beautifully on page 528. Christianity, as it developed, is wholly based on the personality of the Messiah. This statement needs no proof. Paul the Jew did not go so far as to call Jesus God. That's true. But it was natural for Gentiles, the Gentiles that Paul brought into Christianity, to take the third and final step and to turn Jesus into a God-man, one person with two natures, God and man at one and the same time. Thus, Jesus' messiahship, which was the point of your question, was gradually obscured. Jesus the Messiah gave way to Jesus the God-man, or the God-Jesus, and matters finally reached such a pass that the name Christ became essentially a cognomen, a surname of Jesus, Jesus Christ, and not Jesus the Messiah. So in my translation, I have always translated Christos as Messiah to get the Jewish messianic flavor back and try to recapture the identity of Jesus as the man Messiah Jesus. We're back again to 1 Timothy 2:5. So I would think he's very displeased with the muddle that we're in. And this isn't that hard, because Jesus was ecstatic when Peter said, "You're the Christ." He said, "You got it. Hallelujah. I'm going to found my church on the belief that you, Jesus, are the promised Messiah of Israel." We need to be clear about the identity of Jesus, not a second God. The creed of Israel, the creed of Jesus, Deuteronomy 6, repeated with complete approbation and approval by Jesus in Mark 12:29, agreeing, you see, so cleverly there with a scribe who says, "You've got it right, Master." They knew indeed that there was one and only one God. And so commentators like Hurtado, who say that the creed of Jesus, the creed of Israel in Mark 12, is a pre-Christian Jewish creed, really give away the whole disaster. What do you mean? The teachings of Christ are pre-Christ? They're not. They are the teachings of Christianity. If you say that the creed of Jesus in Mark 12 is pre-Christian and Jewish, you're saying, oh, leave that for the Jews. We've moved on beyond that. That's fatal. We need to go back to the Jewish Jesus, who is the Messiah. That's who he is.